sport's all-time greats, PBW, Pete Weber, and the man who's won more titles than anyone, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Today, both legends announced their retirement from the Guaranteed Rate PBA Tour. Weber and Walter Ray are here live at the PBA Scorpion Championship to discuss their decisions and to watch some of pro bowling's best compete in the final event of this year's World Series of Bowling. It's next here on FS1. From AMF University Lanes in Tampa, it's time to wrap up the 2021 World Series of Bowling with a fifth and final event, the Scorpion Championship. And here's the lineup: Kyle Troop, Tom Daugherty, Chris Prather, and Michael Tang. It's low man out bowling. We start with the 4 match play survivors. After one game, the low score is done. The same goes with the final 3. Low score is out. Then we have a championship match with the 2 remaining bowlers. The winner takes home a PBA Tour title. And welcome back to Tampa. Final night of the 12th PBA World Series of Bowling. Dave Ryan alongside the Hall of Famer Randy Peterson, joined by Kimberly Prather throughout the broadcast as well. RP, what a day. What a day of emotion on the PBA Tour. Not one, but 2 legends on the same day announced their retirement. Pete Weber, Walter Ray Williams Jr., owners of 84 titles, 18 majors, compete in match play, and Walter Ray almost makes the show.
Yeah, it's almost like this could only happen at the World Series of Bowling, right? 2 of the greatest players of all time, Walter Ray Williams Jr. and Pete Weber. I mean, the stats are so long, it would take us the entire telecast just to run through all of them. But what could have been if it wasn't for that one guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Tampa Tom.
Yeah, the guy that owns University Lanes. The legend killer took out Weber and Williams Jr. earlier today and bounced back once again and looking for more hardware. Chris Prather has had a hot hand here at the World Series of Bowling 12, winning the doubles with Andrew Anderson, second at the Cheetah Championship, and tonight he looks for his 5th title. There's Andrew just wheeling it from the gutter, and there's a little hardware for the boys, winning the Roth-Holman PBA doubles. And then there's Kyle Troop, the winner of the season opener Players Championship, for a cool $250,000. He hasn't been pleased with his TV performances here at the World Series, and he told us tonight it's all about redemption. Well, let me just say this. If Tom Daugherty or Kyle Troop go on to win tonight, they'll have a stranglehold on the Player of the Year race heading into the final 2 majors.
Something to keep an eye on here tonight. Tom Daugherty tries for his 2nd title of this year's World Series. He's joined now by Kimberly.
Thanks, Dave. So, Tom, you beat both Pete Weber and Walter Ray Williams Jr. to get here tonight. So what was it like going up against 2 legends? Because I mean this in the nicest way possible, but I can't imagine there are a lot of fans at home going, I hope Tom beats both of those guys.
Well, thanks, Kimberly. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. But, I mean, it's a lifelong dream to bowl against Pete Weber. I mean, that was something I always wanted to do. I wanted to do it on TV where we can get yelling at each other and having a good old time. And that was a hard match for me. That was an emotional match, and I wanted to win, but it was tough the whole time.
Well, they didn't make it easy on you because they both took you to Game 5, right?
Yeah, it was, and I was down 0-2 to Walter, so it was a grind, but we got the job done.
And there was a 1-pin rolled off at one point, am I right?
Game 3 actually was a roll-off. He threw all 3 in a 10th like the Hall of Famer he is. And he tied me, and then I struck, and he left a 10-pin. If it wasn't for that, who knows? He probably would have been on the show right now.
Well, they're both in the house rooting all of you guys on, so I wish you good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a look at the 42-foot Scorpion oil pattern, the toughest of all the patterns, the lowest scoring. You'll see players try early with urethane as straight as they can go until they can somehow create a little bit of hold down lane. And then once that happens, well, the players, they'll just get in and they'll start curving it to that spot down lane. Get it too far to the right, however, and that ball is never coming back from that zone.
Leading off, bowling out of Oakfield Lanes in Brandon, Florida, Tom Daugherty.
But he grew up bowling right here. AMF University Lanes. Won, by his estimation with us, some 15 titles in this building growing up.
They used to lock him in here at night.
Literally. You get up in the morning, go right to high school from here after bowling all night. He knows it well.
Well, Tom is going to curve it immediately right out of the gates.
Bowling out of Penn Station in Newton, North Carolina, Kyle Troop.
Troop, there it is. How about Kyle tonight, Randy? We talked about it top of the broadcast. Is this his night for a little redemption with the Partridge Family theme outfit tonight? Looking cool, looking ready to win another championship. Been disappointing so far in the World Series for him. That's a high shot. Single, pin, spare conversion coming up.
Rolling out of Plainfield Lanes in Plainfield, Illinois, Chris Prather.
Third appearance for the World Series of Bowling here for Prather. Has one title, would like to get two, leaving Tampa. That missed the target. 2-10 split for Prather.
You're constantly. I didn't forget my spare ball this time, Randy. Was it last year on Scorpion where he forgot his spare ball?
Had to
Or was it a couple years ago?
have someone hustle some 35 lanes away to grab it. Open frame for Prather early.
Kegling out of Holiday Lanes in Columbus, Ohio, Michael Tang.
A year ago on Scorpion, Randy, sorry, brother Darren made the appearance.
I was just going to say, if that last name sounds familiar, it's because that's the brother of Darren.
This is Michael. He's going for his first title as well. It's a bit high, leaves a 3-pin.
And again, look how straight through the front part of the lane that is. That's a 2/10 of an inch head belly, which basically is none.
Back to Kyle, left lane. That looks better.
Yep, much better.
Michael has his mark. Darren made the finals last year, Centerville, Virginia.
How'd he do?
Carson Hansen won it.
Yeah. Remember
From
that?
Denmark. I do remember that.
Big guy, workout guy. Guy had like these gigantic pythons for arms.
Carson won his first stateside title a year ago in this event in Virginia. Saw the arsenal for Daugherty. And man, is he confident in our meeting with him tonight in the interview in Kimberly, but ooh. 2-8-10 to deal with here.
A little hang on that right lane.
What lane was the other 210?
Remember, low man out. 10-pin.
That one there actually had a little more head belly. Remember, he was on 10-10, and that was like 10-7, so he gave that one a little bit of room.
Daugherty cannot complete the feat on the double wood 2-8 and 10. So an open for Prather, an open for Daugherty here. Early going. Eliminator game. Michael Tang said to us, yeah.
Gets it a little bit up the lane, and then he gets 6. Tom Daugherty's deeper than any player of the 4 right now.
Whoa. Just 8. Another open for Prather. So early struggles and early adjustments, Randy, required because it's low man out here.
Yeah. Troop clean through 2. This is going to be a battle of attrition where these players are going to have to fill frames, avoid opens, and make their spares. Strikes are going to be tough to come by unless they break the pair down perfectly and create a nice trench to throw it in. Look at that.
Oh.
Huge break right there.
Could have been a lot worse there, RP. 3-6-10 standing.
Breaking up the split is huge, and it looks like 7 spare. He doesn't lose any count because he's working on a strike.
Lost opening round to Zach Weidman, Chameleon. A couple nights back.
Wow.
Chris Prather made the finals of that show. Great World Series for each. They want to cap it off with a win here tonight in Tampa. Good cover, 3-6-10 for Kyle. Feeling confident with his spares so far tonight.
You know, I thought it was interesting. Kyle told us he doesn't really practice his spare shooting a lot.
Which surprises you?
It does. He said it's all feel for me, you know, and right now Chris Prather is looking for a place to hide.
What's your advice to Chris right now?
Anything can happen. He just has to just somehow find a way to get to the pocket, maybe catch a double or a 3-bagger and try to hold on. Nobody's going to run away with this.
Very tough conditions here tonight.
Yeah.
2-pin up. Michael Tang trying to find his look into that 1-3 pocket. They all are right now, but especially Chris Prather. He's in a big hole in our knockout game. Kyle's Arsenal tonight.
Oh my
Goodness. 4-9 split.
Kick to the gut right there. You know, it's not just the 4-pin or the 9, it's both. Let me throw a number at you. We talked about
Let's hear it.
Scores. Belmonte, well, he got swept in the round of 8 by Chris Prather, and Belmonte didn't average 200.
Wow. Watch it. Nice conversion.
There's a split.
There's a split. Last night on the broadcast in our flow bowling recap, Kyle's pretty upset because he couldn't convert that split in match play that might have put him on the show.
Oh, that was sexy. Daugherty just got a little softer with his ball speed to make him come around the corner.
Player of the Year talk, potentially Kyle Troup, Chris Prather too, and Tom Daugherty after his amazing week here in Tampa. That's on their minds because Jason Belmonte, 6-time Player of the Year, is struggling. Did not make a show here at the World Series of Bowling, which surprised you, I assume, Randy?
Without question. It surprised everyone.
Yeah.
And then E.J. Tackett making every cut, not taking home any hardware, was the other big surprise.
Prather way down here. Needs a rally. Needs it now. There's a strike.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm checking to see if that was a ball change, but it looked like he moved farther to the inside part of the lane. It was a ball change, and he just moved in and got a little softer with his speed.
Good cover. Left lane for Tang.
Did you know that Michael Tang finished second in the 2017 USBC Masters?
I did know that because it's right here in our notes. I mean, runner-up is impressive. And he said, look, I'm not nervous to us about being on TV because I've come close before. I thought he was the coolest customer of the guys we interviewed tonight along with Kimberly in terms of just being chill and being all right.
He's a pretty smart and funny guy, but extremely intelligent.
Psychology major at San Jose State. Daugherty rips through the rack on the left lane.
So it's interesting to see all 3 players going with the reactive resin, and Michael Tang is throwing the non-reactive, the urethane. Pitch black.
4-pin.
And so the next question begs to be answered. How long does he stay in it? You know, is he just going to stay there and grind out 190 and hope to stay ahead of Chris Prather?
Left lane, Prather in a huge hole. Just can't find the pocket, Randy. Can't find it.
Yeah, that just looked a little fast.
2-4-10.
Throw it there in the 3-6-10s.
He is seeking answers, and he's running out of time to find them. Michael Tang, the TV bowling supply, along with Chris Fye in the Columbus area. Listen, Pickerington, Ohio. Great young star on the PBA Tour, Chris Fye. He told us business is going pretty well.
That's good. Good thing to know. Things are getting back to somewhat normalcy.
Somewhat. Well, it's been quite a day in the PBA Tour, and we wrap things up with the World Series of Bowling with a Scorpion Championship tonight. On Facebook, Pete Weber announced this would be his last day on the national tour. He bowled so well against Tom Daugherty, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. And then afterwards, I don't know if there was a dry eye in the building, but, you know, and he still looks like he's throwing it great. But, you know, some of what he said afterwards really rings true in the fact that, you know, he can hit the pocket as much as these guys, but he can't outstrike them. But it's been 41 great years from that man, Pete Weber. And I know we both know just how much it meant to Tom Daugherty.
Absolute legend. Then next for Tom was Walter Ray Williams Jr. I mean, back-to-back retiring legends for TD to face in match play. Talk about a challenge emotionally. But you know what, Tom? This is his house, and he loves it here. And eventually he was able to get by Walter Ray.
Yeah, barely. I mean, Walter Ray left that 10-pin because they tied in game 3 and went to a roll-off. Daugherty then shoots 277 in game 4 to win that. He was down 0-2. And then he goes strike, and then that strike right there sealed the deal in game 5 for Tom Daugherty. Walter Ray gave him everything you could ask for, and it was still Tom Daugherty. I mean, think about it, being down 0-2, and Walter Ray at the time is averaging over 240.
Wow. One ball roll-off. That was it. Standing between Tom Daugherty being knocked out by the legend. Those are the 4 survivors, and right now, Chris Prather is in a big hole, down 54 pins. The spare of the game is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. If you believe it, you can do it. Guaranteed Rate, believe you will. It's Kyle Troop with a nice conversion here.
Well, in our interview earlier today, he said he's really good at making splits and hasn't made any splits here in this building, and finally did.
Little sarcastic self-cheering there for Kyle, but you know what? He got it done with a split after not doing so in match play here yesterday. Two-time Roth Holman PBA doubles champ. Great start to 2021 for Kyle Troop. Great 2020 season. This would be pretty sweet to win here tonight to wrap up the World Series.
A little inside a target there, and instead of a 4-9, he trips the 4 late, and it's now a double for Troop.
This guy's other ideas. He talked to us tonight about this being a storybook finish, a Hollywood-type script to win the first and last event of the World Series in the center he grew up bowling in. Awesome story. Tang left lane here.
He's got a 39-pin lead over Chris Prather, so he's just kind of filling frames right now. Another ball change for Chris.
Single pin spare conversion has his mark.
They never guessed.
Stays in good shape to survive. Low man out here right now. That's Chris Prather by a lot.
Yeah, but you know what? He can still strike out and shoot 204, believe it or not.
Max 258 here for Troop. There it is. Full high shot. 3-6-10 stands for Kyle.
A little too straight right there.
Kyle told us pre-match, a lot up for grabs. Same for Tom. That was the message. First career major came here to start the World Series on Saturday with the break of a lifetime. Unforgettable.
Yeah, when he tripped the 2-8 for his first major. This is Tom's house.
Major.
There's certain places where players go where they just feel real comfortable. And this is the place for Tom Daugherty.
Man, she's on fire today. Let's go, baby.
That spare ball on fire.
He's locked in right now.
Well,
it's good for Kyle, maybe
spare
bad for
ball
the
is.
other guys. At least the spare ball is.
Yeah. Darren, or I call him Darren one
That's
more time.
twice. That's twice.
If I do that again,
Okay.
shot.
Will you retire?
Yeah, I mean, if I do that again, Darren Tang has permission to take me out behind the shed and just waylay me.
But you're not retiring, are you?
I am not.
Okay, good.
Michael Tang has not struck yet in this game, and he's got a nice comfy lead over the fourth place Prather. Still hasn't struck. And there's no way he's getting out of that urethane ball this game.
But the next game?
I think he's out of it.
Okay. You'll stick with it through match one. Low score is done for the night. That's Prather right now. Looking high. No split. That's the good news for Kyle Troop. Just leaves the 3-pin.
Players are afraid to get it to the right because there's like a sheet of ice if you get it outside of the 6-7 board, and they know it.
Individual national champ for Michael Tang at San Jose State, 2015. Spare for Kyle. Back to TD, and a strike.
When we first came rolling into Tampa at University Lanes, all we heard was how hard the place was, how it was hard to strike, you couldn't get the corners out. And when you talk to Tom Daugherty, what's the first thing he says? I absolutely love this place.
Knows it better than anyone. Literally on the PBA tour.
There you go, Michael.
Got a strike.
First strike of the
It
game.
happened.
Yeah. And I didn't call him by his brother's name.
Darren's 2.5 years older. They are very close, but absolute rivals. And yes, Michael would like to win his first title first. Prather gets a strike. Just trying to survive here late.
Well, let me just say that now Chris Prather is deeper than Tom Daugherty. It started where Daugherty was the deepest, and now Prather's gone on the other side of Tom. Needs this one to have any chance.
Gotta have it. Does have it.
This could be one of the biggest comebacks we've seen in a long time. Again, remember, his max score is 204 right now. Michael Tang is going at 190. However, he can strike out for 220. Big shot here for Michael Tang.
The 25-year-old on the right lane. That's crossing over. Next stop, Brooklyn.
Absolute gigantic break for Michael right there.
Shout out to Prospect Park, Brooklyn. Drew. Wow. Tattoos, the rack, and the 1-3 pocket. My parents are from Prospect Park, by the way.
Did not know that. Daugherty is moving on. Troop is moving on. Well, hang on a minute. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's the strike. He's in the two teams. Troop is moving on. And there's a ball change. Testing the waters to look at a different ball and a different ball reaction. Daugherty up quickly, and Tom will be in the 240s. And he'll be high for this game one. This is going to come down to Prather and Michael Tang.
Kyle told us pre-match, I do not want to leave Tampa empty-handed. After the Players' Championship win in Jupiter, Florida, he's come cross-state to Tampa and wants to take home one more trophy for the USBC Masters and US Open back-to-back weeks, April 4th and 11th in Reno.
Thank you.
Big shot here. Strike will put him at 210, high 2-0s. Prather maxes out at 204.
Looks for his third straight strike. Whoa! 1, 2, 8, 10. Big miss.
This could be one of the biggest comebacks we've ever seen, but it has to have one right here.
Oh, Jesus.
Prather needs it. Didn't like it at all.
Lucky to get 9.
He was.
Kept it in a freaking zip code.
Each bowler major trouble when they needed it most.
About 9. Oh, man.
Gets 8.
Big mistake.
Gets 8.
Prather needs a spare, and then he needs to strike on the fill shot to win by 1. That was a gift.
What a comeback, Randy. You saw it coming, too. Because Michael Tang had not been striking. And stuck with urethane. And now, a strike here to advance. Amazing.
I mean, if Tang just marks in the 10th, he moves on. He can jump in, reactive resin, and move in where the other guys are and start curving it. Instead, he washes out, and instead of getting 9, which would have got him in, he gets 8.
Strike, takes it. Go! 9, ties it. 9, 10-pin stands. 1 ball roll-off coming up here, Randy. Wow, what a start to Scorpion.
I mean, this guy was left out in the desert with no food and no water and just left there to die, and all of a sudden now he's in a roll-off. I mean, pretty incredible. Threw that 4-bagger, got right back in it.
Roll-off rules. Here we go.
Pretty simple. The person that knocks down more pins is going to move on.
How will Prather do? Left lane. Yeah, nice.
And Dave, Michael Tang's thrown 1 strike. The other strike was at Brooklyn. He's hit the pocket once. That struck, and that was on the left lane.
What a comeback to shoot 182 to tie Tang. Now, Michael's got to have a strike here to force another roll-off. Must have all 10. Gets all 10. His best shot of the night to keep this thing going.
Best shot of the game right there.
Handles the pressure.
I mean, we've seen some crazy stuff early. 5-count splits through the nose and washouts and 4-9s and other splits. And, I mean, just a grab bag of anything you want.
Nothing like the excitement of a roll-off. It continues here. Right lane, Prather, yes.
Again, just a guy who kept fighting. He saw that Michael wasn't striking, wasn't getting to the pocket, and I guarantee you he thought the same thing I did, which was if I could string some strikes together, I might put a little pressure on the young man. And sure enough, here he is in a roll-off. Second shot. Must-strike situation for Michael Tang. If he doesn't, Prather advances.
Michael needs it. Doesn't get it. Four-pin stands. Roll-off over. And Chris Prather will move on. The night is over for Michael Tang. Wow.
Amazing stuff. Again, just an epic comeback. And, you know, I know that Michael had a game plan coming in, and I just wished I would have seen him jump in and maybe taken some reactive out, but I think it was a safer play to stay with the urethane until Prather got the four-bagger. Let's send it down to Kimberly.
So, Michael, you needed a strike in the 10th, and you didn't get it, which led to that roll-off. What happened there?
Yeah, I took a gamble with my game plan and didn't make the greatest shots, and the 10th frame was one of them. But the roll-off, he threw two great shots, I threw two great shots, and it's nothing to really complain about.
Well, let's talk about that game plan, because you were the only one who used urethane. Do you wish you would have changed it?
No, I put it more on shot execution. Honestly, in the 10th frame, I think or the 8th frame, I'm still on the wrong board, I think. So that definitely is something I want back. But other than that, the game plan I would still go through with. Just a few more better shots.
Well, it was good to see you back on the shows.
Thank you.
Kimberly, thanks. Had a great run for Michael Tang making the show, but not his first career title yet. We'll hear from PDW and Walter Ray Williams. Last night, Randy Shaw Maldonado, PBA Chameleon Championship, first career PBA Tour title through a 250 at Jacob Buttroff in the championship match, and he said, "Oh, do it! I got me one." He was pretty pumped up. He got his title, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty amazing, and he did some nice stuff, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's staying at Tom Daugherty's house and eating all that fine cooking that Elizabeth's making.
The winners so far, Daugherty, Anderson, Prather, Sam Cooley, first career title. Coming to us from Australia, then Sean Maldonado of Houston, Texas, wins last night. The World Series, Randy's been a blast so far. And the big headlines today were something else too, right?
Yeah, I'm still in shock, but we're going to get to that in a minute. I think we're going to do the playoff points or something like that, right?
Let's check the Kia.
Is that what we're doing?
PBA playoff points. Kyle Troop is on the top there, Randy, with Tom Daugherty not far behind. Both were talking in our pre-match interviews with Kimberly about potential player of the year run, and they're right there, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we have 3 out of the top 4 on the telecast tonight, and those 3 are advancing to our next game.
Belmont up to 18, top 16, make the PBA playoffs in Connecticut this year. And the legends are with us, PDW and Walter Ray Williams Jr. here to enjoy their final day on the national tour. Walter Ray, your announcement came after Pete's officially. You alluded to it in an article earlier in March, but what made the decision for you today?
Well, the tournament that I had in January and in February at the Tournament Champions and the Players Championship, I bowled absolutely awful. And I've been kind of thinking about doing this for years. Probably should have done it 5 or 6 or 8 years ago, but with the schedule the way it was and stuff, and still bowl on the senior tour, it kind of gives me a little bit extra competitive edge to bowl on the senior tour. I'm not going to quit bowling. I'm still going to bowl on the senior tour and bowl regional tournaments. Just, I probably won't be bowling so much on the national tour. If conditions are just right, you know, I might bowl a national tour too, but for the most part, I'm pretty much done. I withdrew from the Masters and the Open, which are in a couple weeks, and I'm just going to concentrate on bowling the senior tournaments.
Hey, Walter Ray, Randy Peterson here. I don't know if you can see me or not, but I can see you. Listen, you're going to be remembered as the winningest player in the history of the sport, a 7-time player of the year. And I mean, we're looking at some highlights right now, some of the incredible memories that you gave us. But I think one of the best memories that we got was today when you took on Tom Daugherty and took him to 5 games, tying in the 3rd game. Why don't you take a little bit? Why don't you take us through a little bit of that, because that was like the Walter Ray of old.
Yeah, I pretty much gave it all I had today. I haven't had too many good tournaments in recent years, but this week I was able to do a little bit. Today, I bowled extremely well. Unfortunately, I was bowling Tom, and he bowled great against me. I came within one shot in the third game of advancing to the TV finals tonight, but unfortunately for me, Tom bowled great and beat me, and then that game and the roll-off, and then beat me in the next two games.
47 titles, the 8 majors, Walter Ray, we saw on that graphic a moment ago. When you think about your incredible Hall of Fame career, what are you most proud of?
Probably being player of the decade back-to-back. I think that's going to be tough for anybody else to do.
Walter Ray, great to see you tonight, and congrats on an incredible career.
Yeah,
we'll
man,
still
thanks
see
for
more of Walter Ray.
Yeah, thanks for all the great memories, Walter Ray.
Unbelievable, Walter Ray. Thank you so much for everything you've done for the sport of bowling. Fantastic to see him here. And Pete's here, too, ready to talk about your unbelievable career. So you make the announcement today on Facebook. People know going in it's going to be your last go-around on the national tour. Pete, what was today like for you?
Well, you know, wow, it was really awesome. I mean, I had a great time bowling Tom Daugherty. I know he was the world championship winner. But, you know, he got a couple breaks at the end. I got a couple bad breaks. But if you know me and you know how I think, if you don't get breaks, you don't win. So congratulations to Tom. I can't thank him enough for being my last match on tour. And I'm excited to go to the senior tour now.
Petey, what's your best moment in terms of winning? Was it, who do you think you are? I am. Your 5th U.S. Open win. What was your biggest, your best, your funnest win ever?
You know, probably the best win I ever had was winning the Tournament of Champions in '87, because that's something that my family never won. But winning my 5th U.S. Open by a pin, throwing a strike to win. Who do you think you are? I am, and that's I am. Sorry, I just had to say that.
Well, Pete, we appreciate everything you've given to the sport of bowling. It's been so fun to watch you compete
that
all these years. And there's that U.S. Open. Oh, man. And, Ray, that was unforgettable.
Every match came down to the 10th frame, and you know, he left that 10 pin, and then he needed a strike to win by 1 against Mike Fagan, and he did it.
Well, you know, Randy, you know, it's every bowler's dream to win the U.S. Open. And having to throw a strike to win, that's something that I got to do in my career, to win my 5th one. And you just really don't know how much that means to me. That was like the greatest moment of my bowling career right there.
Well, Pete, from all of us, Randy, Kimberly, the entire crew here on Fox, thanks so much for a tremendous career. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Look forward to watching you on the senior tour and on the golf course.
Ah, well, I get to play a lot of golf now because I'm off, so I'm ready to play.
Thanks so much, Pete. Great to see Pete Weber here. Great to see Walter Ray here. 2 legends on the same day announced their retirement. Incredible. More incredible bowling is coming from Tampa right on the way. Down to 3. Michael Tang has been eliminated. Troop, Prather, Daugherty remain here at AMF University Lanes in the PBA Scorpion Championship. Dave Ryan, the Hall of Famer, Randy Peterson, Kimberly Preston with us as well here in Tampa. We're about to crown a champion tonight to wrap up the World Series of Bowling. Match 2 underway. Prather, an amazing comeback in match 1, leaves a 10-pin.
And Tom Daugherty, being the highest seed, gets to choose what lane he starts on, which then ultimately determines where he finishes. He's going to finish this game on the left lane. Dave Ryan, he's perfect on that lane.
Ooh, keep that in mind. Wide right.
I thought I was going to get the 7-pin like Michael.
Wow. It's like you're driving down the road in the winter, and then all of a sudden you hit the black ice. You can't see it. And watch this. It's just hydroplaning.
A lot to cover here for Tom Terrific, which he promptly does.
So three and a spare in the first frame looks exactly the same as 9 spare.
It's a good place to do it.
You're going to do it early. 5th Saturday. He and Jesper Svensson could not defend their Roth Holman PBA doubles championship here the other day. Back on TV again. Been a great start to 2021 for Kyle Troup. Same for this guy.
Do you see Kyle in the background?
What's he doing back there?
He's checking to make sure that his dew is on point.
It's always got to be on point. That is, well, it's everything. For the look, for the brand. It was great to hear from Walter Ray Williams Jr. and Pete Weber. I'd like to apologize for Pete's inappropriate language there.
Yeah, absolutely. A little excited, but still can't condone that. All right, guys are starting to heat up like a Mongolian barbecue. Look at that.
Good pin action. 8-pin got tapped. And down it goes.
Watch this pin action. Pin goes flying up and does the bicycle kick into the 8-pin.
It's called a bicycle kick now. Yeah, that when you go backwards in soccer.
Yeah, what's
absolutely.
That?
You had it right.
Okay. Heating up, boys.
This is going to be a really fun match to watch here, Randy. Hometown hero. Looking good.
So in game 1, Prather went 2-10 open, another big split open, and then missed the 3-6-10 open. That's how he started. Then he struck in the 4th, then he opened in the 5th. So he had 4 out of 5 open frames to start the last game. Look at him now. What a difference a game makes.
You called it though, Randy. In the middle of that match, you saw what Michael Tang was doing. Sticking with urethane, not striking, and you said there's a chance. I didn't think there was a chance. You knew it.
I did. I mean, you can't count a guy like Prather out. He's full of confidence. He's got all the tools, obviously. And I thought that something like that could happen. He could sneak up on him.
Still hot.
All 3 players playing the lanes very similar right now. This is going to be a good one.
10-pin. Prather's got it. I'm with you. We're in for a great finish here in the second match.
Yeah.
Left lane for Daugherty.
That's the better of the 2 lanes, in my opinion. I think the ball reaction's a little bit smoother on that left lane. That right lane looks like it might have a little hang down lane, maybe a little tighter down lane. I think if you can finish on the left lane, it's an advantage, and that's where Daugherty's going to finish. The other 2 players will be finishing on the right lane. Beauty there. 6 goes to the sidewall, snaps the 10 out. Gotta love when that happens when you're a right-hander.
These guys are in the groove. The question is, who's going to stumble, Randy? I mean, they're all locked in right now, clearly, in our second match.
Isn't that amazing, though, how Dave, you get enough transition, you get enough bowling balls going down the lane, and you get enough guys playing in the same part of the lane. Remember that every time a reactive resin ball goes down the lane, it takes oil off. And it just it's a tiny bit, but you keep throwing the ball in the same exact spot, guess what? You're going to wear that spot out. It's going to get dry there.
Sorry.
Players always look for friction, so once you dry a spot out on the lane, then you just move left off of that for a right-hander and then throw into it.
Daugherty wants to think about this again. Go through his process. Right lane for Tom. Oh, yeah. Feeling it.
So I told you about that right lane being a little snug, and Tom Daugherty's actually 3 boards to the right on that right lane.
Three or four frame strikes. Match 2. Troop. Left lane. Looks for another. Has another. Trip 10-pin again. He's dancing. The Partridge family outfit. He's looking good tonight. All 3 bowlers. Outstanding start. Midway point of match 2. 1, though, will be done. Who's it going to be? We'll find out next. The 12th World Series of Bowling rolls on here on FS1 from Tampa. Hey, junior bowlers, want to start your journey as a pro? Head to PBA.com to sign up for the PBA Junior Club. Join now for access to exclusive PBA content, discounted tournament entry, smart scholarship awards, official merchandise, and so much more. Midway point, match 2. Low score is done, Randy, as we check the strike track powered by Kia.
So match 1, match 2, Kyle Troop, red ball in the first game, and then he changed bowling balls and moved in. You can see the big difference there at the laydown, about 7 boards at the laydown, and then about 4 at the arrows. Break point is still going to remain about the same, and so is the entry angle.
Kyle's happy with the way things are going right now. This guy's been happy with his week in Tampa.
An incredible week for Tom Daugherty.
Looking for a title again. Has a strike again on the left lane.
When I think about all the things that he's been through this week, you know, winning his first major in unbelievable fashion, and then his dear friend Sean Maldonado winning for the first time, and then here's Tom back again.
Prather runner-up to Sam Cooley the other night at the Cheetah Championship, 247, 185 in the final. He won a doubles title. I mean, it's been a great week for these guys who were on the last show. I think it's pretty fitting, Randy.
I think it's pretty ironic that the last 3 players standing in the World Series of Bowling 12 each made 3 telecasts during this event.
That's symmetry. That is...
Is that what that's called?
Yes.
God. Man, I got to work on my grammar.
It's okay. I understood you.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy.
True.
Wow. Appreciate that one, Mikey.
Appreciate that one, Mikey. His reference is Michael Tang. I appreciate that, Mikey, for throwing the urethane bowling ball down the lane and creating that hold for me.
Provide the path.
Of course, it was unintentional. Just right. Oh,
no. No help. Across the deck on the 7-pin this time for Chris Prather.
These players are creating so much angle. Watch this.
Oh, boy.
This one's all about speed. Oh! Oh, boy. I mean, Tom, it was pretty good. Just a shade inside. Maybe just a board.
Hoping. Okay, we're fine.
I mean, you shouldn't do that to an old guy, you know? He's like 46.
He was so happy for Sean Maldonado last night. As he said, he might have been happier for Sean winning than winning himself for the World Championship. on Saturday. Just thrilled for his best buddy.
He really was.
That was cool. Left lane. Oh, boy. Destroys the 10. Down they go. Wow, Troop just tattoos the 1-3 pocket. Low score is done. Eliminator match 2. Then the championship match will be set up. Prather.
I mean, look how much angle this is. 24 out to 5. That's 19 boards.
Left lane for Daugherty. Tap on the 10. Down it goes.
You see the max scores there. 248 Prather, 290 Daugherty. And I can't
Hop,
see it.
skip, and a jump.
I think it's 279 for Troop.
Home cooking for Tom.
Sleeping in his own bed. Home cooking from Elizabeth.
It's working out pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a great World Series of bowling for Tom Daugherty. Best ever.
These kids are on spring break. They're all watching tonight. Locked in, hoping Dad wins again.
Oh, my.
Trip 10, down it goes. Troops feeling it, Randy.
That was big. Prather down 31 now. In his mind, the only thing he's thinking is strike or go home. It's the only chance he has is he has to continue to strike.
There's one.
You know, he's been working real hard on his straight game, and we saw that in the Cheetah Championship, but that's his bread and butter. He loves curving it.
Yes, baby, come on.
And that pretty much should lock Daugherty. Let's see. Puts him. Yeah, that's a lock for Daugherty now. Yeah, and I think that reaction was because once he struck there, he knew he was locked. He just needs pins. Doesn't even need a mark. He'll be in the 250s. All right. Kyle Troop.
His ninth.
Look out.
Left lane. Whoa.
Oh, my. And I say look out because look out. And that was a good 3 boards inside a target. And it stayed there.
That held. Perfect ball reaction for the 1-3 pocket. Right lane here. Prather needs strikes. Gets another.
Yeah, he has to strike out, and he has to hope that Truth opens.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, again. Let's see. Oh. Timber. Down goes the 10-pin.
10-pin looked like it got hit by a taser.
The slow drop.
Two more for Prather to have any chance.
He struck 3 straight times. 5 of 6 here down the stretch. Right lane.
Done.
9-pin. Good shot.
Yeah, it really was. That slow hook, though, you see the bowling ball went right by the 9-pin.
So easy to do that. So easy to do that. 230 and lose by 40.
Tough break. 9-pin for Prather. Does him in. 2-8-10. 10 stands. But Daugherty's just fine.
And you heard Prather say 230 and lose by 40. And you know, I kind of feel his pain when you look at game 1 after Daugherty. The games were 213, 182, 182.
Wow. Looking good, looking strong here in Tampa tonight.
Yeah, he really is. And the title match is going to come down to the 2 front runners for Player of the Year thus far.
That is fitting, Randy.
Yeah. They need a big U.S. Open and Masters to climb into that top 16 for the playoffs.
Well, the round of 8 knocked out by Prather today. Match play here in Tampa. If anyone can do it, it's Belmo.
I mean, it wasn't even close. Belmonte really struggled.
He made the 7-10.
Against Prather. He shot 188, 206, 171. He really had a hard time. I watched for a little bit. Jason looked a bit out of sorts, and he just looked uncomfortable.
Just trying to get my TV average up.
Could have been a ball reaction that he hated. The parry he was bowling on was not very favorable.
Troop stays hot, finishing out match 2.
Couple of big games there after some stuff that didn't look real promising in game 1.
9 straight strikes to finish out that game for Troop. Prather. Oh, it was that 9-pin that pretty much ended his night. Oh, man. Frustrating. He's joined now by Kimberly.
Thanks, Dave. So, Chris, in that first match, you seemed to could not find the pocket until you switched balls in the 6th, and then you were striking. You played well in this match, but then you ran into 2 brick walls that are sitting behind you who just could not seem to not strike.
Yeah, the first game I thought I was giving Tom's 100 game a run for its money, and made a ball change. Was very fortunate to even have a chance to come to this match, and then they, Tom gave me a little bit of hope in the first frame, getting 3 off the right, and then he's just like, nah, 230 is not even close. I'm going to lose by 40. So, I had a good time. Hit the pocket every time, the second game, and, move on from it.
Well, I love that you have great attitude about this loss. I know it's not the way that you wanted your night to go, but this has been a great World Series for you. Made 3 shows, you walk away with another title. How do you take this momentum forward going into the Masters?
Yeah, I'm seeing the lane really well, and, hopefully I can continue that on in our little break and see what happens in the next 2 majors.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Tom Daugherty threw in the towel there for Chris Prather, having a little fun. He's having a good time so far. Championship match now is set from Tampa. Scorpion Championship to be determined. Daugherty, Troop. Final night of the 12th World Series of Bowling, and Randy, it is retirement day here on the PBA Tour.
God, I hope it's not for me.
PBA player, services manager, retires after 28 great years. I know you have a story about him.
That Keith, he's a savant when it comes to drilling bowling balls. But I'd fill out a sheet and I'd take it into the truck, and Keith would always yell at me because I'd fill it out wrong.
Troop Daugherty could basically do no wrong in match number 2, Randy. Fantastic bowling, a 279 for Kyle Troop.
Yeah, and 276 for Tom Daugherty. And poor Chris Prather, he shoots 237 and gets smoked.
So we're through 2 matches now in what has been a very emotional day here on the PBA Tour. So many retirements and a great way to wrap up.
Are you retired?
I'm not.
Okay,
and you're not.
Thank goodness.
What a way to wrap up the 12th World Series of Bowling with this incredible championship match.
Yeah, I mean, this is really shaping up beautifully, and you couldn't script it any better. And remember at the top of the show, I said if either Kyle Troop or Tom Daugherty were to win tonight, that they would have a hold on the Player of the Year race heading into the final 2 majors, which is the U.S. Open and the USBC Masters. And it's come down to these 2 players, hottest players on tour.
Ready to check Strike Track?
Let's do it.
Powered by Kia. Let's see
I'd love
how
to.
things look here.
All right, let's look at the kind of the tail of the tape, right? So rev rate is just about the same. I mean, 10 RPMs, who cares? Ball speed, Daugherty much softer, much slower, and I think that's his key, and that's what he's really good at doing. When he starts to shape it, he can get real soft with his ball speed. And Kyle Troop's just being Kyle Troop. Look how accurate he's been.
We're ready for the championship match. Scorpion Championship already. World Championship, Tom Daugherty with a hop, skip, and a jump. He's won a major at this event so far. Kyle Troop looks really good through his 2 matches. He's a major champion in 2021 as well. Took his first major, Players Championship, Jupiter, Florida, a couple hours across the state. Francois Lavoie won the TOC, climbing the ladder. This Saturday, the Guaranteed Rate PBA World Championship went to Tampa. Tom, who wins tonight? We're about to find out. Kimberly, joined by the finalists.
Thanks, Dave. So you know what? You guys are both major champions this season, which means you both are candidates for Player of the Year. So, Tom, I'm going to ask him to have to move at all during this next match? And if so, what do you think is going to happen?
I believe the lanes have set up very nicely, especially with Mikey throwing the urethane ball. We were actually talking, hoping that he would continue to throw that. You know, I don't see many adjustments being made. We both just struck 10 times a game or so, so I'm going to try and just throw 1 or 2 more strikes and hopefully get this title.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Great to hear from our finalists here. Randy, let's check the tail of the tape.
Well, there's big age difference, as you can see right, let me get my telestrator to work, right there and right there. 20 years of pro for Tom Daugherty. 7 titles for the pro with the fro. And Tom Daugherty really making a name for himself. Both of these players newly anointed major champions.
That's the trophy they're competing for. Absolutely, this year. Really recent for Tom. I seen a couple days ago on Saturday.
Exactly. Guy hasn't even had a chance to celebrate yet.
Been pretty busy.
He's been too busy making a bunch of money at the World Series of Bowling in Tampa.
Third show of the World Series. Both will appear Super Slam April 18th in Manassas, Virginia, just outside D.C.
Whoa!
Wow, what a start. Kyle Troop.
Great pit action here for Kyle Troop. And this is like, watch the 10-pin. It's like Brady hitting Gronk in the corner of the end zone.
Tampa Bay. Everyone's excited. Gronk's back. New contract. Brady will play till he's 60.
I'll tell you what, Tom Daugherty to me has really got his ball speed dialed in. You can see how, I mean, we see 19, 20 miles an hour. This guy's at 17 miles an hour.
Smooth.
You want to win at this level, you have to have a full toolbox. You can't just try to take these guys on with a hammer and a screwdriver.
Not here, not now. Left lane, Daugherty, wow. I think that's a great point, RP, you make, because, yes, Tom's made 3 shows in the World Series, but different conditions.
Yeah.
Every time. Sure, he knows the house, but different lane patterns. I mean,
right.
You talk about toolbox, it's a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, I think a good example, if you go back and look at Prather. So you saw what he did today, or tonight, rather, and how he was really slow looping it. When he finished second to Sam Cooley on Cheetah, he was firing at 21 miles an hour, straight up 5. That's first arrow.
Versatility. Gotta have it. Out here on the PBA Tour. Right lane, Troop, yeah. Trip 4-pin. Sunday, the best season. Perfect start. Championship match. Left lane. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We talked about it. Walter A. Williams Jr., 5th place here. Randy, what a moment. As the legend, 47 titles, first all-time. Tour history announces his retirement today.
Yeah, Andres Gomez had a nice go with Michael Tang. And you saw Dom Barrett there. He lost to Kyle Troop. There's Buttriff, Packy.
Oh, that was a good one, too. Damn.
That might be the only thing that stops these 2 players in the title match. That little bugger right there at ring 10.
He liked it. Good shot, ring and 10-pin. First non-strike of the championship match.
Some great stats, not only brought to you by Strike Track, powered by Kia, but also Lane Talk. And for more information on Lane Talk, please visit their website at lanetalk.com. Tom Daugherty 1.5 miles an hour slower with his ball speed. Now that may not sound like a lot, but it is.
Left lane. Let's check the ball speed here. 4.7. So why is he slower?
To get his ball to shape properly. He gets a little too fast, and it'll go right through the break point and keep going, like into the Gulf of Mexico.
It's not too far away.
Yeah.
We're like 10 minutes to the beach. 4.7 for Tom. So we talk, Randy, a lot about the advantage of being in his former home center, but pressure too, right? I mean, a lot of people in Tampa want him to win. How do you think he's handling it?
Oh, I think he's handling it beautifully, but I would have loved to have seen a center full of fans and Tom Daugherty fans.
No question.
And would have loved to experience that. I think that there's less pressure because there are no fans allowed.
Interesting. You're right. Place would have been packed for all of our shows here. Troops packing all 10 into the pit. Looking great to start this championship match. He is locked in with a front four.
I got to take you back to the doubles when Kyle missed the 2-4-5. And then if you can recall the look, his head down, and it wasn't because he missed the spare. It's because of how he felt it affected his partner.
He let down Jesper.
Correct. And that was unforgivable to Kyle. It was like, you know, I just can't, I can't take that.
Oh, God. Didn't like this one.
Lucky
Doesn't
there.
get a break.
And so this is...
sorry, 6'10".
Sorry, Dave. And so this is kind of redemption, you know. He beat himself up so bad over that and letting his partner down. And you know, that's honestly, that's kind of the beauty of doubles, right? I mean, you win together, you lose together. But he felt he cost his team. And not only that, he cost his best friend, Jesper Svensson, a shot at another title. And that's what's really motivated Kyle tonight.
Spare there for Troop, partner. First non-strike of the match. 21-pin lead for Kyle Troop as Daugherty works on a spare. Right lane. Fifth frame. Yes. Randy, I think it's an interesting point you made because bowling is an individual sport.
Right.
But for Kyle, that was just devastating.
Right. I mean, again, you know, we're used to doing this by ourselves, and you celebrate alone. And I mean, of course, you'll have a couple friends with you, a couple of your tour buddies, maybe your tour roommate, but you win or you lose on your own. And that's the beauty of the doubles. That's the beauty of the PBA League Series, is that if you do win, if you do well, you get to celebrate with everyone. Unfortunately, when you perform poorly, now it's not just on you. Now you have to face your teammates, your doubles partner, and it makes it a lot tougher, a lot more emotional.
Left lane for Tom. Goes into the 1-3 pocket, takes Challenger SR away from the conclusion of our championship match. That trophy is on the line. Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Text play to the number on your screen to help keep kids in the game. Troop by 11 pins. PBA Scorpion Championship to wrap up the 12th World Series of Bowling here in Tampa. Dave, Randy, Kimberly, our entire crew. We're in for a great finish. 6th for Troop, but Daugherty's working on a double. Kyle steps up and...
Oh, no.
2, 8, 10.
That may be unforgivable with the way things are going right now. Tom Daugherty hitting the pocket every shot. An open frame may not be able to overcome.
recover it. Open frame in the 6th for Kyle Troup. Uh-oh.
Yeah, not only is it an open frame, but he loses count, too, because he was on a spare.
The lanes continue to transition. Kyle, the front 4. Spare in the 5th, now the open in the 6th. Let's see how he responds to the toughest moment of his night so far. Pretty well, baby. Cross the deck. Number 10 goes down with a messenger. That thing was cooking.
There's Kyle's release, and then watch this pin action. Head pin to the sidewall, and just flies across and takes out the 10. Now Daugherty, 3-pin lead.
That's how you do it.
Make it 13.
That's how you do it. Got the turkey. Now 13 pins. No pick, but he'll use them.
I'm sorry, but that was priceless.
You got to have your signature move. Maybe that's his now.
I mean, at this point in the match, too, to do that.
That's for a 4-bagger and a 23-pin lead.
Huge shot. He's going to move a little farther left.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Randy.
He moved farther left because the last shot on that lane, I believe he went a little high, and sure enough, he moves in and aces it. I think the high shot was back in the 4th frame. He moves off of that, and then just perfect ever since. 4 in a row now for Daugherty. Troup, his tournament life on the line right now. 8th frame working on a strike. He's thinking it's all or nothing. I have to strike out. And he has to do it on this right lane.
Missed the cut to 13 pins. Yes, perfect shot. Rushes the 1-3 pocket. And 60 feet to success for Kyle Troup when he needed it most.
Beautiful shot here by Kyle after the 2-8-10. So Kyle needs a strike in the 9th, and then he's got to hope for Daugherty to leave a 10-pin. I think the only lane that Daugherty can leave a 10-pin on is the right lane, just because it's slicker. The ball tends to push a little bit longer down that lane. Must strike here for Kyle Troup.
Foundation frame time, must strike time for Kyle Troup. 1 re-rack remaining. He needs it. Cut it to 3-pin deficit. Yes, indeed.
Not yet. Well, you heard him say not yet, but there's nothing Kyle Troup can do to stop Tom Daugherty. Max scores, you can see him right there. 267 for Daugherty, 254 for Troup. I think the only thing that stops Tom Daugherty is this lane right here.
Let's see how he does. No problem.
Perfect.
No worries.
Look at that ball speed. Look at that ball speed. It was under 17 miles an hour. When was the last time you can remember a professional on this tour throwing it 16.8 miles an hour? I can't either.
I can't.
I mean, that's incredible speed control. I think the last time he was on, he was throwing it 19, 20 miles an hour.
Adjusting to conditions in the bowling center he grew up competing in. 15 titles he won here. As a junior bowler growing up through high school, he loves this place. Left lane. You bet.
Wow. Wow.
Slow and sweet. It's working for Tom Daugherty tonight.
9 spare, he's a winner. Just 9 on the first ball. He's a winner.
Needs 9 for the win. It is your house, Tom Daugherty. He gets 10.
Great ball, bro.
And he wins the Scorpion Championship. Tom Daugherty does it again. His second title of the 2021 World Series of Bowling. How about Tampa Tom? Fourth career title and second in 5 days.
2 of them, baby. 2 of them.
Trophy time again for
BJ.
Tom.
We could have made it a really good week. We'll
BJ
get
Moore,
next year,
double
BJ.
squad.
Lay you down, brother.
They were top seeds, hoping for a third title, but hey, Tom, you won
Amen
2
University, I love
here
you.
in Tampa. We'll hear from the happy winner in a
Thank
moment.
you, Hammer, Chuck, Turbo Grips, all my sponsors.
What a night for Tom Daugherty. 262 average in the 3 games here. And you saw the words, this is my house. That's his trophy as well, as he wins this one. 266-254 over Kyle Troop. Championship match of the PBA Scorpion Championship. Winner joined now by Kimberly.
Thanks, Dave. So, Tom, you looked totally cool, calm, and collected throughout all the matches tonight. And why were you so comfortable in your pursuit for this title tonight? Was it because, as you said, this is your house? Or is it because you're just bowling so well right now?
It's a combination of a couple things. I mean, I'm bowling obviously the best I've ever bowled in my career, and I just had the ball reaction. I knew how good it was, so I just had to stay out of my own way, and it was going to strike. So it's easy to bowl like that.
Well, how do you describe this World Series of Bowling for you? Because it's been a huge week. You won your first major. You won another title. Last night, you got to watch your best friend, Sean Maldonado, win his first PBA Tour title. How would you describe it in one word?
Fabulous.
That's a good word. Now, right before this final match, I asked you about Player of the Year. With this win, you now are in the forefront of that. Are you thinking about it now?
I mean, there's a long way to go. Kyle's had an amazing year. I mean, $250,000 week 1. That's pretty hard to beat. He's bowling great all year. I'm the first one to 2 titles, so that's got to put me up there. But we'll see how the rest of the year plays out.
Well, congratulations. You won the Scorpion Championship for the 2nd time at the World Series of Bowling.
Thank you.
What a night for Tom Daugherty in his
Didn't
home
think I was going to let
center.
you win it all by yourself, Sean, did you?
I guess he's up to
Matching
about
trophies,
17
brother.
titles in this building. More on the way from Tampa. The 12th World Series of Bowling. It's a wrap, Randy Peterson.
Yeah.
5 days, 5 champions. This was fun to watch. Incredible bowling, incredible news today on the PBA Tour. It was awesome.
It was a different World Series of Bowling, but I think if you really want to put a bow on it, you really have to appreciate what Tom Daugherty did in this center, in his house. He was brilliant.
2 titles for Tom Daugherty here at AMF University Lanes. Let's recap where we got to this point. It was incredible to watch the World Championship. First career major, Randy, for Tom Daugherty on these lanes.
Yeah, and the victim, Jacob Buttriff, you could see him sitting in the background. It's not the first time that's happened.
No.
And then the doubles with Prather and Andrew Anderson, boy, and they really parlayed some good fortune right here. You see Prather with that trip 9, and then Andrew Anderson there with the late 10, and they're your doubles champs.
Sam Cooley, first career PBA Tour title. Monday night, the PBA Cheetah Championship. Not just Jason Belmonte, who is a star from Australia. That was an emotional time for Sam.
And I'm not sure anybody's bowling ball hit harder this week at the World Series than Sam's. And then Tom Daugherty's good buddy, Candy, the Candy Man, Sean Maldonado. Look at him roll to 10 there. He had never won before until last night.
Back-to-back, first-time winners on the PBA Tour. And then tonight, Tampa Tom does it again, Randy.
Well, you know, I can't believe he won today because he only averaged 262. I mean, just an incredible performance. And I said that loud enough so Tom could hear me as I turn around and look at him. Way to go, Tom.
Daugherty, Anderson, Prather, Cooley, Maldonado, and Tom Daugherty again in the building he grew up bowling in, competing in. Just incredible. That is an amazing story. It's Hollywood stuff there, Randy.
Yep, really is. Tommy, you coming over? Tom, you coming over? Are you going to stand? Well, come on over here and talk with us.
Let's go, baby.
Get over here.
Back in the booth.
He was amazing, I thought.
Yeah, he did great.
Come on over here, Tampa Tom.
Listen,
all right.
You know,
how you feeling, man?
This is awesome.
Way to go.
Congrats, man.
Thank
Congrats.
You. Thank you.
Since everybody's retiring, I'll just retire. When you're done with bowling, I'll retire, then you take over for me.
Don't worry about it. Barnes, you're next, buddy.
Let's talk about how the lane's set up for you tonight. And one of the big things that I noticed, Tom, was your ball speed.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I saw a player actually throw some shots that were under 17 miles an hour. Your ball speed and your touch was incredible.
It was. I mean, it was just when I just amped it a little bit, I 2-8-10 or got 3 off the right. So it was like it had to be slow, and that's all I was basically focusing on is keep the ball speed slow, and it wasn't going to go high because of the Tang urethane.
Thanks for the second interview.
Yeah, man.
It's great seeing you, man. Unbelievable job, Tom Daugherty.
Great week, man. Congratulations, bro.
World Series
Pretty awesome.
bowling
Thank you.
titles here in Tampa. Much more coming your way on Fox and FS1. We'll see about who wins our next couple majors here, Randy. USBC Masters, April 4th, 2 Eastern from Reno and the National Bowling Stadium. Right back to the same legendary bowling center the next week for the U.S. Open. And then a brand new event, Super Slam from Annandale, Virginia. And that's going to be where the 5 major champions will get together. We'll see Kyle Troup and Tom Daugherty next.
Yeah, going to be real exciting. Can't wait. A couple more majors, and then the Super Slam is going to be a lot of fun.
What a week of great bowling here in Tampa, Florida. Thanks so much, bowling fans, for joining us. Now for Randy Peterson, Kimberly Pressler, Pete Weber, Walter Ray Williams Jr., Tom Daugherty, who joined us for a second time, and the entire crew.